Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and obviously judging by the title of the video, we're going to be going over the all-new Toyota Supra that's coming out. If you guys could please comment down below if you kind of like these, I guess they're sort of like rant type videos, not really, but just kind of me going over some of the new cars that are coming out, and obviously ones that I'm kind of interested in as well. So if you could please leave that down in the comment section below. But let's just get right into the video. Side note, you guys can see it's really cloudy out here today. It's actually going to snow pretty soon, which I'm kind of excited about, so I might have some fun in the truck in the snow today. We'll just see. Now we're heading off for real, and obviously I'm going to be going over the all-new Toyota Supra that's coming out, and kind of to piggyback on the last video that I had about the GT500, this car is kind of more in line of what I'm looking for. What I mean by that is I've kind of been, after having the GT350 for, a few months now, I've kind of been craving a more lightweight car. I had the Porsche prior, which obviously is a lot more lightweight. That car doesn't even weigh 3,000 pounds, so it's a lot more tossable. You can take it around the corners faster. I've been missing that a lot. You can take the 350 around corners, and actually, speed-wise, I can take that around corners even quicker than the speeds that I was taking the Porsche around corners. However, it just has a different feel to it because the car's heavier, and so you feel like you're lugging around more weight because you are. And so that's kind of why the Supra's more in line of what I'm looking for. However, then obviously today I'm going to be going over some things about it that aren't my favorite, and why I'm not necessarily going to go with that vehicle. First thing on the Toyota Supra is the fact that they don't offer that car on a manual transmission. And I know that I just complained about this with the GT500, but I'm going to continue to complain about this with sports cars because I just wish that manufacturers would still offer that option. And obviously the older Supras, they offered a manual transmission with that, and that was one of the key points of that car, was a manual transmission. And the fact that you're only going to be able to get it with that 8-speed automatic, it's kind of disappointing. And it kind of, I wouldn't say it ruins the car, but it kind of runs the excitement about that car, being able to roll the gears. Number two would be the power outputs of the Supra. So back in the 1990s, and don't quote me on this, I might be a little bit off on these power figures, I don't have them memorized, but the old Supras, I think they were in the low 300s, like 315, 320, somewhere around there. I'm sure someone in the comment section is going to be like, oh, it was this much, whatever. Anyways, the new one, I think it's like 330, 335, so after like 20 years plus, and you only get a horsepower bump of like 10, 15, 20 horsepower. It's just, I mean, back in the 1990s, that was a lot of horsepower, but now 300 horsepower is nothing. Minivans have 300 horsepower. So on that side of things too, it's disappointing, because I know that it has a quicker 0 to 60 because of technology has improved and the automatic transmission, and goes on and on and on, but still, I wish they had done more power with the vehicle. Now, my third thing that kind of puts me off from the car is how the concept looked versus how the actual production model looks. I still think it looks great. That's actually one of the big pluses on that car, is I think that it just looks so beautiful. I know that it has a bunch of fake air intakes and this and that, but I still think it looks super aggressive, and I actually really, really like the styling, and I bet in person it's going to look even better, because typically cars don't look as good in photos as they do in person, and the fact that that car looks good to me in photos, I know it's going to look really good in person. But still, the concept looked even better, and so they stuck pretty close to the concept, but there's a few key details that I wish they had kept that they didn't on the car, especially on the front end side of things and a little bit on the rear end side of things as well. The fourth thing with the Supra that I don't like is the fact that it's a BMW. Powertrain comes from BMWs. That transmission is a transmission. It's made by ZF, but BMW uses that transmission. And the interior, like the infotainment, all that stuff, is BMW. And it's kind of like the Supra is supposed to be this really cool, unique vehicle, but then it has all this part sharing from BMW, so it isn't really this cool, unique vehicle because of that. And the other worry that I have is obviously reliability. I'm not saying that BMWs are bad cars, but they're not the most reliable vehicles. Everyone knows that, and so that's just another thing that I kind of am a little bit worried about is, you know, just long-term reliability on that car overall, with the powertrain and obviously with all the interior technology, all of that kind of stuff. The fifth and final thing about the Toyota Supra that I don't like, and this is probably going to get the most backfire out of anything else, is the fact that it's a Toyota. I know that the Toyota Supra has so much, you know, it's just had such a big impact on people, and people just absolutely love it. I'm not really one of those people, and so when it comes to buying a vehicle, you know, things that I obviously look for is, my biggest thing is, how does the vehicle drive? If it doesn't drive good, then I'm not going to go for it. And the other thing I look at is styling on the vehicle, and other people's perception on it is a little bit important to me. It's not the most important thing, but I do consider it. And so paying that much money and still having a Toyota badge on the outside of the car is a little bit disappointing. And I know that you guys are going to give me backlash because you're like, well, you drive a Ford that's more expensive than that car, and I get that, but Ford has so much more weight than Toyota does. They have the Ford GT, which is a supercar, and Shelby just has so much weight behind it that it's different. Like there's actual weight behind that versus Toyota. Whenever someone says Toyota, you think of boring and reliable. Now Ford, some people might think of their trucks. Other people might think of their sports cars, Ford Mustang, all that kind of stuff. So it carries a little bit more weight. But that's just something that I've also taken into consideration, is the fact that it is a Toyota. And if I'm going to be spending that much money, do I really want to be driving a Toyota? And the answer is not really. And there we have it, everyone. My thoughts overall on the Supra that's coming out. Obviously, I think it's a beautiful car. I think it's still going to be a blast to drive, but might not necessarily be the thing for me. Again, please leave in the comments down below what you guys think about these types of videos, and if you really like them, then I'll continue to do them on a bunch of the cars that are coming out in the market, or maybe some stuff as well that's already come out, so you can kind of see my thoughts on where I'm planning on taking things with my current lineup of vehicles. But thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below what you thought. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're stopping in for the first time. And if this is the end of the video, I'll see all of you in that next video. But if it ends up snowing tonight, then you might get a little bit of a clip after this. I know it just looks really dark in here, but you guys are actually in luck, because as you can see, it finally decided to snow, so looks like we can have a little bit of fun. So I was gonna film doing some donuts. It's hard to tell, but it is snowing like crazy. Like, cannot see anything, so probably try to do those tomorrow morning.